It's Perek Gimel, Mishna 7, Mishna Zion, Perek Gimel, Mishna Zion, chapter 3, Mishna 7. Okay, so let's take a look at our chart before we begin. Okay, the story again begins as we have been having. You've got three brothers, two are married to two sisters, and one of them is married to a non-sister. We call her stranger. So brother one is married to sister one, brother two is married to stranger, brother three is married to sister two. Okay, so that's the top line. The next line, you could see brother one is not there anymore. It means he died. His wife, sister one, fell to Yibam. Brother two did Yibam on sister one. Okay? Brother two did Yibam, right. Brother two did Yibam on sister one. So that means that brother two now has two wives. Sister one is his wife through Yibam. Then he's still married to stranger, which means that at this point of time, stranger became a tsaras erva. She became the co-wife of an erva because brother three was married to sister two. He could not do Yibam on sister one when brother one died because it's his wife's sister. She's an erva. Okay, now, so that's why when brother one died, brother three couldn't do Yibam. So brother two did Yibam. And now we have a situation where brother two has two wives. Sister one is his wife through Yibam, and then he has his wife from before, stranger. In the next line, the third line, the next person missing is sister two. Meaning, after brother one died and brother two did Yibam on sister one, brother three, his wife, who was the sister of sister one, she passed away. Okay, that's the third line. And the fourth line is where brother two dies, and he dies without children. That would be a situation of Yibam. But the situation of Yibam would call for sister one to fall for Yibam to brother three, and for a stranger to fall to brother three. Now, you might say to yourself, well, at this point of time, my brother two died, sister two was gone, right? She wasn't alive anymore. The halacha is that if a person's wife dies, he's allowed to marry her sister. So you might think that in this case, there should be nothing wrong with brother three doing Yibam on sister one. Because by the time brother two dies, and sister one and stranger now would be falling for Yibam to brother three, the sister's not alive anymore, therefore there should be nothing wrong with doing Yibam to sister one. And the halacha is, as you see, I put an X by those arrows going to brother three, that means that there is no Yibam. There is no Yibam. You know why there's no Yibam? Because if you go back to the second line, when brother one died, his wife, sister one, could she go ahead and could she marry brother three? The answer is no, because the sister was still alive then. He couldn't do Yibam when brother one died because sister one is an erva to him. It's his wife's sister. So that means we had a situation of Yibam where there was a situation of Yibam, but Yibam could not be done. According to Torah law, she's an erva. What that does is it gives sister one the status of an erva, or actually it retains her status of an erva to brother three. When the Torah lists the ervas of the Torah, your brother's wife is an erva. She's forbidden to you. The only thing is that if the brother dies without children, then Yibam says you can marry her. But in this case, since she's an erva to brother three, there is no Yibam to brother three. So at that point, she became a full-fledged erva of your brother's wife where there is no mitzvah. Once she gets that status remains. She will always remain your brother's wife, who there's no mitzvah on. So even if eventually the sister dies, which was the cause originally why she was an erva, because she was his wife's sister, now, even though that erva is not around anymore because the sister died, she still retains her status as an erva of your wife's brother who there's no mitzvah of yibum on. And therefore, she will be exempt from yibum, and her co-wife will be exempt from yibum. Because after brother 2 did yibum on sister 1, so stranger became a tzara, she became a tzaras erva. She became the co-wife of an erva. And therefore, at the end, when brother 2 dies, both women are free. There is no yibum or chalitza to brother 3. And the sort of point of this Mishnah is, and that's the chiddush, that's the novel point of this Mishnah. The novel point of this part of the Mishnah is that at one point of time, this woman gets the status of your wife, of your brother's wife, that there's no mitzvah of yibum on, which makes her an erva. That status never goes away. And so therefore, in our case, even though the original cause of being an erva was the fact that this was because she was his wife's sister, and that's not here anymore because the wife is gone, that doesn't matter. She's an erva now because she's an erva as your brother's wife who has no mitzvah. That makes her an erva. And therefore, the co-wife is a tzaras erva, the co-wife of an erva, and therefore they are both exempt. So let's read right now. Perek Gimel, Mishnah Zayin, chapter 3, Mishnah 7. Shelo yisha achim, 3 brothers. Shnayim mehem nesuyin shtei achayos. 2 of them are married to 2 sisters. Vecha nasi nachris. One is married to a stranger, to a woman that's not related to them, to the other woman. Meis ech b'bal achayos. Okay, what happens here is that right? One of the husbands of the sisters dies. In our case, we had brother 1. He was married to a sister. He died. The kanas nasi nachris es ishtay. Brother 2, who was married to the stranger, to the woman not related to anybody, he went and he took her in. He did yibum, full-fledged yibum. Umeisa ishtay shel sheni. And then the wife of the other brother died. V'achakach meis nasi nachris. And then the one married to the stranger, brother 2, died. Harezu asurai lavalamis. The sister 1, is forbidden to him forever. Being at one point of time, she became forbidden to him. That's the rule. If there was a situation of yibum, and during that situation of yibum, that situation said no yibum, which means she is now your brother's wife where there's no mitzvah, she remains in that status forever. So therefore, at the end of the day, when both her and her co-wife fall to the third brother, they will be exempt from yibum or chalitza. Okay, we'll finish up the Mishnah tomorrow.
Everybody's dying.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. All right.
This is a tough day.
Yeah. Now.
Anybody alive?
All right. Now, back to the Chofetz Chaim. All right, the Chofetz Chaim was discussing the situation of where you have a comment, you make a statement that statement about one person would be complimentary, and regarding the other one, it would be lashon hara. So the first example he gave was a person who has no livelihood concerns, his livelihood is taken care of, and you say about him, he learns about 3-4 hours a day. That would not be complimentary to that person. That'll be lashon hara, because he's got plenty more time to learn. Why isn't he doing that? If you say same thing about a person who's busy a whole day working, and you say he learns 3-4 hours a day, that would be tremendous praise. So that's one example of the same statement that, depending who you're talking about, that would make it. That would decide as a lashon hara or not. Now he gives another example of that. Just give me a second. Right. You have another example like this. Or the same thing can apply regarding to other mitzvahs. That how you're going to fulfill them will depend on how much money you have. Going, for instance, l'chabit Shabbos, regarding honoring Shabbos. A person whose funds are limited honors Shabbos up to a certain point. A person who has a lot of money could do it more lavishly. So now you have this person. If you say about one of the simple balabatim, simple homeowners, somebody who's he's not wealthy. You say he spends this amount of money in honor of Shabbos. That would be a big compliment, because for that person, with his financial situation, that's a very complimentary thing to say. He spends that much money to honor Shabbos. But if you say the same amount about someone who was known to be wealthy, that regarding Shabbos, this is what he does, and it's the same thing that you described about the person who's not well-to-do. People will look down at him. Such a person with such money, that's how he treats Shabbos, and therefore that would be lashon hara. The same regarding talking about how much money a person gives for tzedakah. It all depends on the person's means. The same way, if you go out and you say, this person gives X amount of money. If you say it about a person who doesn't have a lot of money, it's a compliment. If you say about a person who has a lot of money, people look down at the person for it. The same thing regarding how people treat each other. You talk about a person who has workers, and he's a regular person, and you say, this person treats his workers this and this way. You just make a statement, he treats his workers this and this way. All right, people won't necessarily look at it as a bad thing. But let's say you're talking about a person who's considered a Torah scholar, a person who's considered an Adam Chashav, a person who's held in high status, and you say the same statement about how he treats his workers, that could be considered lashon hara, because it's an expectancy of such a person to treat people on a higher level. And therefore, he says, when it comes to all these kinds of things, all these things are all going to depend on the context. Depending on who the person is, their situation, the same statement could be lashon hara for one and a compliment for the other. And therefore, a person has to be very aware of that. And as he says, he's going to say, we'll go through it tomorrow. And as he says, at the end of the day, take the Rambam's words as your guide. And that is, if this would be something that would make the person be damaged or hurt or distressed, that is called lashon hara. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.